I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for Life in UK test part 556 while doing ground yoga. And if you participate in the ground yoga, that is at your own risk. Now in this video we want to talk about literature. And we don't want to name the authors, we did it in a separate video. We want to say about literature. We're going to start with saying that there is the Anglo-Saxon poem Beowulf. There are also the Canterbury Tales written by Geoffrey Chaucer and Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, about one of the knights at the court of King Arthur, the Round Table. I think they mean the same thing. I never heard that King Arthur has a court and a Round Table, so I probably just said one of them and it was used for both. There's Shakespeare writing sonnets, there's John Milton writing religious influence, Paradise Lost, William Wordsworth, Nature, Sir Walter Scott, Scotland, when there are poems, William Blake, John Keats, Lord Byron, Lord Tennyson, Percy Shelley, Robert and Elizabeth Browning. Then more recent, the First World War, whether our Secret Song, and recently, but also probably weren't good on that. Sir Walter de la Mare, John Mansfield, Sir John Betjeman, and someone else. Ted Hughes, Sir John Betjeman, John Masefield. It's a Masefield. Written in Vanessa, not like Mace, John Masefield, Sir John Betjeman, and Ted Hughes. Okay, if one is missing, it's and there's a poetry corner with Miss Amy. Then we want to quote "How to Be in England Now." That goes like that: "How to be in England now, that April's fair, and whoever wakes in England sees some morning unaware. If the lowest boss and the brushwood sheaf that on the elm tree bowl are in tiny leaf, while the chaffinch sings on the orchard bough." England Now by Robert Browning. And when we want to say that there are people of the United Kingdom who have won the Nobel Prize in Literature, maybe I'm just going to start with first to take a look then what's missing. Sir William Golding, Seamus Henning and Harold Pinter. Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien was voted in 2003 for the best loved novel. There's Dame Agatha Christie inventing no one. She's just a detective stories. Dame Agatha Christie, detective stories. Ian Fleming introduced James Bond. And there's the Booker Prize for Fiction given out. For example, 3 people got it since 1968. Ian McEwan, Helen Mandel, Julian Barnes. Let's try it. I have a second camera rolling and now we're going to try it. We have time for around 3 or 4 takes. How did it sound with Beowulf? Literature in the United Kingdom. There is, for example, the poem Beowulf, that is from the Anglo-Saxon times, so 1,000 years ago. And there's also from the medieval times the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. And there's also the poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, about one of the knights of the court of King Arthur. And then there was William Shakespeare, and he wrote, for example, sonnets. And these are poems, and they have 14 lines, and they rhyme in a specific way. And then there is John Milton, and he was during the time of the Reformation, and he wrote by his religious views influenced things. For example, he wrote Paradise Lost. Then there's William Wordsworth, and he was inspired by nature when he wrote about poetry. And Sir Walter Scott, he was inspired by Scotland and traditional folk songs. And then there are more poets. In the 19th century, poetry was very popular. For example, William Blake, John Keats, Lord Tennyson, Lord Byron, Elizabeth Browning and Robert Browning, or then later in the First World War, from the First World War, living through it, there were Sir Wilfrid Owen and Secret Song. And then even later there are Sir Walter de la Mare and John Masefield and John Betjeman and Ted Hughes. And for example, one poem by Robert Browning is partly like that, Home Thoughts from Abroad, and that goes like that: "How to be in England now that April's fair, and whoever wakes in England sees some morning unaware, that the lowest boss and the brushwood sheaf around the elm tree bowl are in tiny leaf, while the chaffinch sings on the orchard bough in England now." And there are 3 winners of a Nobel Prize, for example, from Britain, and these are Seamus Henning and Harold Pinter and Sir William Golding. And there's also the Booker Prize for Fiction, that is given out since 1968. And Ian McEwan, for example, won it. Or Julian Barnes or Hilary Mantel. In the year 2003, the book The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien was voted the best loved novel. And there's, for example, also Dame Agatha Christie. She wrote murder mystery stories. And Ian Fleming introduced James Bond. And that is according to the Life in UK Test Handbook on several pages, for example, 87. Who was the poet I skipped? John Keys. We take it. It's a loose video. We could do another one, but let's do it in the next video. So I'm gonna stop the second camera. And we're gonna do the ground yoga. If you participate in the ground yoga, this is your own risk. If you're here to talk about traditional associated foods with England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, you can go directly to the next video. We're breathing in. And out we go in front, and we're opening the chest to the sky. Again, in into the middle. And out with the back. And again, in into the middle. And out in front, open the chest to the sky. And again, in. And out with the back. And again, in into the middle. And out in front, open chest to the sky. And the last time back. And breathe in the middle. Now we're making circles. We're going in front, opening the chest to the sky. And we're going back. And again in front. And back. And in front. And back. We're going in front, we're breathing in, opening the chest. And out, and we're going back. Now the other way around. In front, open the chest, breathe in. And out. Again in. And out. And again in. And out. And we're sitting tall. Now to the tabletop. We're having the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. We're putting one arm into the middle. And we're bringing one arm through. And we're lying down onto our shoulder. And we're lifting one arm up. And now breathe in. And out, bringing the arm again behind the back. And lift the arm up. And out the arm in front. And breathe in the arm again out. And out the arm behind the back. And in the arm up. And out the arm in front. And in and up. And out and turn, we're coming up again. Now we are out of it. And we bring one up. We're lying down onto our shoulder. And we bring one up. And now breathe in. And out the arm behind the back. And breathe in the arm up. And out the arm. Again in the arm up. And out behind the back. Again in the arm up. Out in front. Again in the arm up. And out and down. Now we're going to the downward facing dog. Try to make a straight back. The line from the hands to the hips. Over the straight back. And now we alternate bending the knees. And we're doing the bobslide. So from high plank, going back and breathing in, out and front, again in, and out, again in, and out, again in, out, and the last time in, and out. And now we're doing the mountain climber. So breathe in and bring the knee in front, and out and back, and in the other knee, and out, and knee in front, and out, and the last time in, and out. And we're going back to the downward facing dog. And we're walking up. Now we're doing the marmot. Breathe in and bend the right leg. And out and stretch just the left leg. Breathe in and change. And out, stretch the right leg. Again, in and change. And out, stretch the right leg. Again, in and change. And out, stretch the right leg. And another time, breathe in. And out, stretch the left leg. Again, in and change. And out, stretch the right leg. And both legs straight. Now we're doing the penguin. Breathe in and lift the right arm up to the sky. And breathe out, bend the left knee and look over the right shoulder to the right hand. Breathe in the arm again back. And out, both legs straight, arms down. In and lift the left hand up to the sky. Breathe out, bend the right knee and look over the left shoulder to the left hand. Again, in and the arm down. Out, both legs straight. And we're doing the pelican. Make a hand of space between the feet. Shift the weight to the heels. And breathe in and go down. And out and again up. Again, in and down. And out and up. Again, in and down. And out and up. And the last time, in and down. And out. We're doing the triple cheese counterweight. Take hold of the elbows and gently swing from side to side. And both hands again down and feet together. And we're walking in front to the downward facing dog again. And we're doing a stretching dog. Come high up onto tiptoes. And now draw the knees into the tummy, go with the tummy to the knees. And out back into the stretching dog. And bring the heels down. We are down with the knees to tabletop. And we're sitting back into child's pose. It was a ground yoga. I thank you very much and until next time.